Hey, hello, leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr., and welcome back to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So, today I want to talk about a quote that I recently heard, and the quote was, "Hard times are a passport that gives you permission to go places you wouldn't get to go any other way." And that quote is from Levi Lusko. I have no idea who Levi is, but I really like this quote. It really stood out to me, and I could not agree more with this because if you think about it, hard times or challenges or setbacks or failures or major roadblocks, whatever you want to choose to call them, they can all show up at the very worst times. You know what I mean? Have you ever been driving somewhere and you go through a stretch that has like 10 red lights, and one day you might hit every one of them freaking red lights red? And you're like, man, it's just aggravating, right? Because you got to stop every, anywhere from, we go through a town just north of us and it seems like there's a red light every 100 yards. And it's like, oh my gosh. Well, the other day we were going through and we hit every one of those lights green. First time that I can remember that we hit every one of those lights green. And it was amazing. And it got me to thinking about, when we hit all those red lights, maybe, just maybe, that the universe or God or somebody maybe they're purposely turning red when we get there to slow us down. Maybe when they're all green, they're like speeding us up a little bit. I don't know that. What do you think about that? You ever have those same incidents happen and think, well, maybe this is saving me from an accident? Well, that's some things that my wife and I have talked about, and it's just weird, but they never really show up at a good time. So when you're in a hurry, it seems like you're going to hit the red lights. If you're not in a hurry, like we weren't the other day, we hit every light green. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe we manifest those certain things, or, I know we put out different vibes. That's been proven, but who knows how brilliant and how powerful our mind is, right? But these hard times, like Levi says, are a passport that gives us permission to go places that we wouldn't be able to go any other way. So that's an important aspect to think about here, because it gives you, it gives you another perspective of how to look at hard times or failures or challenges or setbacks. And I think personally that setbacks and failures and hard times, they can all be the biggest blessing that we get if we choose to learn from them. And that's a big if. And it does take a choice. You see, if we just sit back with every setback and hard time and we just gripe about it and we moan and groan all the time, we're not learning stuff from it. And actually, we are being a bad example for the people around us. Because if we're griping all the time, all of a sudden, we'll notice that our kids will be starting to gripe and complain and moan and groan about every little thing that goes wrong. Well, on the other hand, if we look at it and say, okay, well, you know what, let's just deal with this, it'll set your kids up for success or anybody else that you might be mentoring. Now, I'm not saying if your kids complain and gripe all the time that they learned that from you, but in my case, wow. That's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, sometimes I may have complained and griped, and my son may have been there watching me or listening, and so now that's just a natural reaction for him to have. So that's a bummer. But I think these hard times, like it said, it gives you permission to go places you wouldn't go any other way. I think these hard times and challenging times and setbacks and failures create opportunities for us. If we look back at some of the the hardest times and maybe the biggest challenges, the biggest setbacks, the biggest failures that we've had in our lives, if we look back at those, it's easy usually to see all the positive opportunities that failure or setback or hard time had on us or created for us. And these opportunities, it could be anything. It could be a promotion. It could be figuring out a problem that you've been trying to figure out for a long time. It could be meeting new people that turn out to be best friends or, the best coworkers or, lifelong friends. Who knows? It could be that, that you just learn something new. And that one thing that you learn new from that hard time might really set you up for success in a lot of other places and a lot of other opportunities. So today, I want to challenge you just to look at the setbacks, the challenges, the hard times. Look at them in a different perspective and not so negatively. Look at them as, hey, this is a setback, but it's okay. And as long as nobody got killed or majorly injured, it's okay. You can survive it. You can do it better. You can learn from it, and you can continue on. Hey, that's it for today. Come on back tomorrow for a brand new show. And until then, run to your challenges. We'll see you.